Let's move now to learn about the exploratory instructional strategies. So the exploratory strategies are problem solving, hypothesis testing, exploration and creation, and role playing. So we will learn about the three: the problem solving, exploration, creation, and role playing. Hypothesis testing will not learn because at a more advanced level. So the first strategy under exploratory instructional strategies is problem solving. What does it mean? Actually, it's the 21st century skills that enhance learners' ability to effectively and innovatively solve different kind of complex problem. It emphasizes on learning on how to learn rather than learn specific content. It's more about skill-based rather than content-based. So enable learners to present their understanding in different ways. Let's see what are the processes to include problem solving in your online courses. So you will ask a student to find and sort the information, to think critically about the information, ask them open questions, propose solutions with providing justification, evidence, and examples. So it enables knowledge transfer to different contexts after graduation and after learning the problem solving techniques. So you can transfer this knowledge, can apply it in different contexts outside the boundaries of the classroom. Also, it requires intentional learning, where learning is goal directed to solve the problem and propose solution. So you are, as a learner, you will set your goal to solve the problem and to propose solutions. Also, it enables authentic and contextual learning, where students solve a real world problem. What are the techniques or examples of implementing problem solving in your online course? So it requires collaborative learning to solve the problem of job seekers, for example, in our country in Oman. Each group will present their proposed solutions. Each group will communicate with decision makers about the solution with providing justification. So you are trying to convince that as decision makers in, for example, in workplace minister, how they are going to solve the issue of job seekers, how they can locate the suitable job for each citizen in Oman. This is about the problem solving. Let's take example of problem solving. For example, there is a global warming issue in the universe. So, as a student, you will answer the following questions: What are the causes of global warming? What are the implications of human activities in global warming? What scientists effort in minimizing the global problem on the global warming problem on the earth? So this is like a complex problem. You are trying to find the information, sort those information, and to understand what are the causes and effects of human activities in global warming or maybe in climate change. You will propose your solutions with your justification, explanation, and also by providing evidence. The second strategy and exploratory instruction strategies is exploration and creation, and it means that it's guiding a student in how to identify and frame questions or problems that are interested to them in order to learn how they will solve the problem or answer the questions. Encourage students to generate goals of what they would like to explore, what are the methods they are going to engage in exploratory learning, and the results and should result in a product or artifact or assignment that demonstrate what they have learned and whether they achieved their goals. Also, there is limited guiding and instructions from the instructor, and it's more about student-generated learning. So it's like independent activity. You will be independent through discovering information and use this information to answer questions or to solve the problem under study. So here you are self-directed learner. You are you own the learner. You are the ownership of this learning. So what are the complex problem that you don't have answer to it in a specific topic? You will create the methods that you are going to use in searching for this for this complex question. For example, are you going to search on the internet? Are you going to search on the database? Are you going to search on specialized association and so on? After that person, your understanding, you will present to us what did you find, what kind of information, what the evidence you get, and how those if its problem is going to be solved. So what are the process of exploration and creation? So it's of course intentional goal, where students set achievable goals for their own learning. Of course, it's self-regulated learning, where students manage the time and goals of their learning. Also, it engages students in collaborative and conversational learning, where students must communicate to each other, work together to achieve their learning goals, and also to communicate and to discuss and to have a conversation with the instructor. They work, you are as students to build the knowledge, propose solution to a problem, providing answer to a complex question, for example, and engage students in active and constructive learning by seeking information, by providing evidence, finding solution, and answering the questions of the task. So these are the processes. What are the examples of techniques? Inquiry-based learning. So now, because you are engaging and involved in researching for a topic and in searching for answering for a complex in a question, the instructor will pose the questions, or maybe will give you a scenario, or maybe a complex problem, and then you will set your goal in order to understand and to answer the question, or maybe to solve the problem and understanding, and also to analyze the scenario and give us feedback. Then students will work toward creating the questions of their own, engage in research to find information or evidence to answer those complex questions, or maybe to understand this complex problem and to understand the complexity of this scenario. So this is about the exploration and creation. What are the examples? Let's take the climate change as is a complex issue in the earth. How human activities can maximize and minimize the life on the earth. For example, this is for me the complex questions that I need answer for it. So I will search and I will explore the climate change. I will search for the information in the databases and also in the specialized association. I will provide evidence and examples based on my understanding. I will prepare a presentation or a report about what I have found from my research and my understanding. I will present it for the whole class, or maybe for any organization or for any community. So this is about the exploration and creation. And if you can see, it's interrelated, or it's related to problem solving, it's related to articulation, it's related to the reflection. So all those strategies are related to each other, but it's very important to understand each one so you can combine with all those strategies in one activities. Another strategy under exploratory instructional strategies is role playing. Means that students practice their understanding and the skills in a simulated real world situation, and immediately they observe the result of their actions through prompting, reflection, and meaningful learning. Learners here can imagine that they are other people in different situations, and they make decisions and a change to that situation. Learners here also assume to take the role of historical character, for example, practitioners, professionals such as scientists, historians, and physicians, and other roles. What are the process of role playing? So, you need to establish rules for role playing. Are they speakers? How they exchange ideas? How they respect each other's opinions. Also, to ensure that students have a clear understanding of the purpose of the role play. Also, to provide a clear scenario relevant to students, or alternatively, have students select their own scenario and work on it. Give students enough time to practice the role play, to understand what are the scenario about, what are the roles they are going to take, how they exchange ideas, how they perform this role playing, how they perform the final product form role playing. So examples and techniques of including the role playing in your online courses: to work collaboratively in small groups to develop an awareness of empathy, use open-ended questions to trigger students' engagement, ensure that students reflect on their learning and consider its application to future experiences. So you need to understand to ensure that the students, they master and assimilate the knowledge and the skills related to role playing. For example, let's take an example of role play. A clinical psychologist drawing upon their own experience to make the interaction realistic could play the part of a patient with students taking the part of the psychologist. So here a clinical psychologist. Students will take the role of the psychologist, and then they will take part of a patient, how they can deal with patient as a psychologist, how they and ask them questions, how they probe questions and get their answers in that situation. Another example, a character engineer could play the role of a project manager, while students play the role of the engineers during a meeting. So you will play or take the role of a project manager as engineer in a construction project, for example. So you will understand what are the role of engineer and the role of project manager in that situation. What kind of discussion or conversation they are going to use, what are the procedures in that meeting, what are the final products. So what did you understand from taking the role of project manager as engineering in this meeting? Another problem is that, so in social studies, for example, the teacher can choose a student to take the role of Imam Sultan bin Saif bin Malik al-Ya'rubi and conceptualize the practices had been happened in the fort and how this fort has been iconic building for the country, which is the Nizwa Fort. So the students here, they will take the role of Sultan, of Imam Sultan al-Ya'rubi, and also they will understand the events that happened in the Nizwa Fort and its role in that time. Another example in science, for example, a group of students may be assigned to be the different organs of the digestive system and asked to explain how each of these systems work individually and together with other organs in the system. So this is the digestive system. For example, each student will take the role of one system and they will understand how it works, and then they will communicate, they will explain collaboratively how this system works. So this is like a role play activity. So here now we can relate these instructional strategies to the characteristics and principles of meaningful online learning. How, when we can use supportive, dialogic, and exploratory instructional strategies to design active learning, constructive learning, cooperative learning, authentic learning, and intentional learning. And we can see and we can observe through studying these instructional strategies that each strategy for this support more than one of these characteristics of meaningful online learning. Please watch this video, and then we will discuss what are the instructional strategies is implemented in this video, what are the characteristics, sound,
So we're going to start this
what are the
module with an
characteristics
example
that
from an
are supported in this video, and what are the principles of meaningful online learning are supported throughout this video. So watch it please at home, and next Monday we will discuss it together through the synchronous session. Thank you. This is the end of our presentation for the meaningful online learning design framework. I hope the instructional strategies are clear for you, and also it's clear how you can embed and implement these instructional strategies in planning for online course for the second assignment. I hope it's informative and useful for you. Until then, have a great day, and bye-bye. See you next week. Bye-bye.